Yeah, hello. Thank you so much for time. Thank you so much for making time. I think sometimes when people don't completely understand the perspective from which you are coming, you just need to keep, explaining things so people will get it. And nobody is antagonizing women. All of us were born to women, and we have sisters, we have cousins, we have aunties and all that. So women are really nice people, and we believe women should be protected. And nobody is saying it is right to strike a woman. No, it is not right to beat a woman. But what we are saying is, where did we go wrong as a people? Look at the way your mother has lived with your father all these decades. Isn't she submissive to him? For those that are fortunate to have seen their grandparents, look at the way your grandma was submissive and respectful to your grandfather. It is as a result of that submissiveness that our parents and we as well became blessed by God Almighty. So let's not swallow hook, line and sinker cultures that are alien to us. A woman can kneel down before her husband to give him water. A woman can kneel down before her husband and serve him food. When her husband is angry, she can kneel down and beg him for forgiveness. We also urge the men to show maturity and love and care in dealing with their wives. So when there is this battle of the sexes, nobody stands to benefit. When there's this battle of the sexes, nobody stands to benefit. So therefore, all we are saying is, let's go back to those unique cultures that made us unique and separate from others as Africans. Women are so lovely. We love, care and cherish women, and we need to also not lose sight of the fact that books that are read by a few educated women, ideas that are imported from other cultures, we need to sieve those ideas, pick the good ones that are in tune and in sync with our culture as Africans, and jettison those that are in dissonance with our culture as Africans. It is not African culture that a man would wash when his wife is doing nothing. It's not African culture that cooking becomes the responsibility of a man. It is not African culture that the man would wash or bathe the kids when his wife is doing absolutely nothing. But there's nothing wrong with a man grabbing something from the kitchen as a show of love or concern, not as his responsibility. That is the point we need to get. When a man goes out of his way to do laundry with his wife, to drop the kids at school, bathe kids, change diapers, these are one-offs a man can do to show love, care and romance to his wife. But to institutionalize these feminine roles and make them the role or roles of the man is completely un-African. So I urge my sisters to listen critically at what we are saying. Nobody is saying you should be manhandled. All we are saying is men should be encouraged to take very good care of you, and you reciprocate the gesture by being respectful, by being submissive, by kneeling down to greet your husbands, and by showing all the respect and courtesies you need to show your husbands and their family. That is fundamentally what we are advocating, so that we build a Ghana and an Africa that has blessed kids. Yes, this is very, very important. Some men are dying in silence. Men have no control in their homes. Men have no control over their property. Men have no control over their kids. All in the name of, this is how it is done in Europe, or this is how it is done in the United States of America. We even go to our homes with child upbringing. Children observe what happens between a man and his wife. Would you want your children to grow up into women that don't respect their husbands? Why would you do that? So I believe we need to set very good examples for the younger ones to emulate. This blind feminism thing, those who are shouting on rooftops didn't start it. Where are the brilliant, intelligent women who started this thing? They realized eventually they needed the natural protection of a man. They are happily married. They are happily married. If you are a woman, there is nothing wrong with being submissive to your husband. There is nothing wrong with kneeling down to serve him food. There is nothing wrong with kneeling down to ask him for forgiveness where you go wrong. One secret about a man is he doesn't want his masculinity to be undermined. So I believe we all need to realize that as Africans, we have our own culture and we have our own family values. And any attempt to disrupt that equilibrium by disempowering the man is wrong. It's completely wrong. So I think we need to go back. We need to retrace our path as a people. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was great. Go to Nkrofo and find out how his mother lived with his father. The delinquent children we have today may be as a consequence of lack of respect on the part of women for their husbands. How many times haven't you heard your mother say, it is because of the patience I've had with your father for the past few decades that you are blessed today? This is who we are. And any attempt to bring in an alien culture that runs counter to these idiosyncrasies that undergird our family values is wrong. A man can decide to open the door for his wife when she hops into his car. A man can decide to do things when his wife is indisposed, or when his wife has traveled, or his wife has gone for a seminar, or a wife responsibilities, and make them the responsibilities of a man is wrong. That is fundamentally what we are saying. Nobody is proud of the fact that somebody has hit a woman. We know how fragile and vulnerable a woman can be. But not even a madman will be hitting people randomly in the streets. What happened before the act? Or what happened before the fact? So that is but fundamentally what we are saying. Nobody is advocating domestic violence. No. It would be completely. So therefore, our sisters should learn If you have a diploma or a first degree or a master's degree or even a doctorate degree, that does not make you better than a man. No, you need to be subservient to a man, even if he has never stepped foot in a classroom. You need to respect him. He can consult you on issues, but you shouldn't lord yourself over him. And of course, we also urge men to show an abundance of love, care, and protection for their wives as well. But let's get things right. Something is amiss. And if we don't rectify this familial error, then we will wake up to a Ghana and an Africa where a man will be completely disempowered. In times of war, may God forbid, if Togo is to invade Ghana, who would be the frontline people in the trenches to save the sovereignty and national integrity, territorial integrity of this country? Will we call women? Is it the role of a man to want to die? But it is his natural role to protect women and to fight wars, to protect his land, to protect the dignity and sanctity of his country. When we are sitting with you in apartments and in homes, and there is a little electrical problem with the meter, who is called to rectify the problem? When you see a lizard or a cockroach and you're scared of it, who do you call to protect you from it? Isn't it a man? Is this man not worthy of your respect, affection, and submissiveness? Those examples may be oversimplified, or they may be too mundane, but that is to underpin the fact that men have roles and women have natural roles to play. And a woman playing a man is not part of her anatomy and physiology, biologically speaking, not to talk of the anthropology and sociology that underpin how we interact with each other in society. So I urge women to be submissive to their husbands. Kneel down and greet your husband. Show him love and care and respect, and all other things provided you. The Achilles heels of every man is when you show him love, affection, and respect. Then he will do everything you want him to do. He can even piggyback you. How many times have you been excited about a thing a woman has done for you? You feel like doing just anything for her to make her happy, even if it means piggybacking her. So know the formula to use as women, and you will get a man to do everything for you. But being antagonistic, being resistant, doing this I know my rights, following advocates of blind feminism will not make you achieve the best you want in a marriage. Thank you for your time and patience.